Hello fellow YouTubers. So today in this edition of My Computer Life we're going to talk about one of my top 5 computer games of all time, and that was Zork 1, or later called Zork the Great Underground Empire Part 1. Now this game was in development basically from 1977 to 1979. The developers made several versions of this game till finally they released the final version of what later became Zork 1 in 1980 by Infocom. Now, Zork 1 was part 1 and eventually became part 1 of a trilogy, Zork 2 and 3. And this, to tell you how popular this game was back then, the game went on to sell 400,000 copies on the various computers that it was released on. Now, what made Zork so amazing in its time compared to other computer games, if you were to take King's Quest or Black Cauldron, was those games had graphics, but they were very limited in what you could do in the game. When you typed in things to input, interact in the game, you were very limited, so it was very frustrating at times to play those games. Where Zork was only a text-based adventure, but you could do so much more in the game, besides put directions like north, south, southeast, up, down. You could also do things like get sword, drop sword, or put long phrases in the game like put lantern in chest, or tie rope to post. And that's what made this game so amazing, was you thought you could do about anything in the game. And so you would just try things. You'd pick up things and try to get them to work together, or try to do things, because you could do really long phrases in this game. And that's what made this game such amazing. It was an interactive story, basically. And like all old computer games, this one you had to use your imagination as to figure out what to do in the game. That's what made this game so great. But the ultimate goal of the game was to collect the 20 treasures of Zork and install them in the trophy case. That was the original goal of the game. And so, in 1987, they released a abridged version of it called Mini Zork 1 of the game. And also, in 1996, Activision released Zork in Japan for the Sega Saturn and PlayStation. It had graphics, sound effects, and auto mapping, and that game was never released. The version of that game was never released outside of Japan. The game was also released in 2010 on the Amazon Kindle. Zork 1, 2, and 3 were released, and the mini abridged versions were. So you could play that on the Kindle. And of course, Call of Duty Black Ops also has Zork in it. When you're basically at the menu screen, whether you're the PlayStation 3 or Xbox 360, you hit the left and right bumper, you break out of the chair, you walk in the back of the room to the computer terminal, you type in Zork, and then the game comes up. By doing that, you also get an achievement, or PlayStation 3, you get a trophy. So, but it was an amazing game. I remember the first time I put that game in, and read the story, and I started messing around with it, and I was blown away by what you could do, because you're used to games having at the time, very limited things you could do. In that game, you could just do, you could do these long phrases. Honestly, it'd be amazing if somebody made a game like that today with today's graphics, and where you could do about anything in the game. And if you were just to make a text where you could basically type in anything you want your character to do, interact with people, I think that game would work today and be really amazing. So tell me your memories of Zork 1. Maybe you played the game and your experiences with the game, or maybe you knew somebody and watched somebody you knew play the game back in the day. What were your experiences with Zork 1, or member of it? So guys, that's all for this video. Until the next one.